We're very pleased to have you here this evening. My name is Tricia Ford, and I'm the interim president for the Denver Hospice. And we're really here tonight to honor the memory of your loved ones, as well as we're honored to add them to our wall, our memorial wall. And so thank you for making the trip out. I know the weather was supposed to be a blizzard condition, so 1 inch to blizzard, so I think we got pretty lucky. But all of us at the Denver Hospice are very grateful. We are very appreciative of your philanthropic donations to the Denver Hospice in honor of your loved ones. And we want to make sure that you have a very memorial evening. The wall came about by the Louann and Micky Miller family, and it's very important to us as to all of the individuals that we have the privilege to serve at the Denver Hospice. Louann and Micky felt it was important to offer other families and friends an opportunity to not only show their support of the Denver Hospice, but for others to be able to honor their loved ones in a special way and in a special place. And so with that it allows all of us to have a lasting legacy for those that we memorialize on the wall. So tonight we're proud to unveil the names of your loved ones who have been added to the Louann and Micky Miller Memorial Wall. We hope that it continues to bring you joy and honors your loved ones in a way that we intend it to be. So with that, I would like to introduce one of our chaplains, Rabbi Foster.
A couple of things first. First, I want to thank all of you for your generosity. That's what we're here for, and is to say thank you. And I know that it's a difficult thing to come back to this place. I know that, but we're grateful for your being here tonight and for your continuing your remembrance of your loved one, whoever they happen to be. It's important. Number two, I want to say I've been around here for a long time. I've been a rabbi in this community for 52 and a half years. I was on the first board of Denver Hospice when it wasn't Denver Hospice. It was called the Hospice of Metro Denver some 45 years ago, something like that. How long, when was hospice founded here? Anybody remember? Nobody knows. That's how long ago it was. So I was on the first board of our hospice. We had 7 board members and 6 patients. And eventually it's become this phenomenal institution. And I think, and there's 3 things I want to talk to you about tonight. First is, why has it become that? And I really do believe that the work of Denver Hospice is a work that says we all understand, especially you, because you've lost loved ones, we all understand that there is a mixed blessing when it comes to dying. It's bittersweet. Bitter because we lose the people we love, and we'll talk about this in a couple of minutes, regardless of what you think is going to happen after their death. We feel a certain sense of real emptiness and loss, and that there's a bitterness to that. And no matter what our traditions are, even if we don't have a tradition, there is bitterness when we lose somebody we love, because there's an emptiness, and we understand that. But hospice also understands that there's also a sweetness to this. And part of that sweetness is at the end of life. Our loved ones can find strength and peace at the same time, even though we feel the bitterness of the loss. We also feel sort of a sweetness that their ends have come really at a wonderful place, in a wonderful way. And I've been doing this a long time. I said I was a congregational rabbi for over 40 years, and I've been here for a while. And I know that for all of you, even though I probably don't know any of you, or maybe a few, I know that for you, this place means that there was something sweet about the death of a loved one. Second thing I want to talk about, because I think that this is a part of who we are as human beings. I want to give you some advice. I want to tell you, I think there are 4 tasks that you have. 4. And I think that they're all important, each and every one. And the first task of people who have lost someone is to grieve. And we know that grief doesn't just come and go. You know, you lose somebody and, okay, we'll recover. Yeah, I think we do recover, but it takes time. And we, as human beings, have to be open to that time and to recognize that grieving has stages to it and that it's not over in a week or in a month. My tradition says it takes us a full year to recover from the death of a loved one. My tradition says that it sort of follows a cycle. First few days are really difficult ones. And my tradition, not your traditions perhaps, but my tradition says that only the closest of family come together to help in that process. And then we move from that day or a couple of days, we move to a period that in my tradition we call Shiva. Shiva means week. It means that we honor that person who has died and we receive our friends and they come to our home and they give us comfort by their presence. And then we go to the moon, and there's some special things that mourners do for a 30-day period, and then a whole year. And our tradition says, my tradition says, that it takes at least a year to recover from the loss of a loved one. For most of you, Christmas is important. Christmas is coming next week, 10 days, whatever it is. And your loved one's place at the family table will be empty. And I think it takes that whole year. Birthdays, anniversaries, all those things with our loved one not present. So I think you have to grieve. That's a task. The second task is to wonder. Really wonder. I suppose that's why chaplains are on the staff here, because we're supposed to be doing the wondering. To wonder about, what is this all about? There are maybe 30 of us in this room right now, and I would suggest to you that there are probably, if we're really honest with ourselves, there's 30 different ways in which we look at this moment between life and death. Some people really believe that there is something beyond this world, and sometimes people believe something just to the opposite. I'm not prepared to say anybody is absolutely correct. We don't know. People ask me all the time, Rabbi, what's going to happen when I die? And I say, I always have 2 answers to that. Number 1, I don't know, because I've never been there. And number 2, I am not anxious to find out. But the truth is, we don't know what's going to happen. And there's a wonder to that. But I do believe that our task as human beings, whatever it is that we believe, is to live by that belief. If somebody believes that there is a better life beyond this world, you have to live in this world and to make that happen. And if you believe there's absolutely nothing, and that this world is most important, you have to live by that and make this world a better place. I think that's our task. Third task is to remember our loved ones. Always. Not their biographies. Of course, you can remember their biographies as well. But I always think it's important to remember what their characteristics of life were about. Who were they? Not just what they... People do what they do because of who they are. It's not the other way around. And so I always like to share with families, I think you've got to remember who they were and how they made a difference in your lives. The fourth task is to take those memories and emulate them for the next generation. Because the next generation will give them a sense of immortality because of what we might do for them and for their memories, and to live by what they live for at their highest moments of living. We know that none of us is perfect. We have high moments, we have low moments. Our task is to try to live by the highest moments that we have in life and then pass that on. So I think those are the tasks for mourners, for grievers. Last point I want to make. Very often in funerals, people read the 23rd Psalm. It's part of Jewish tradition, Christian tradition, many traditions. They believe in the 23rd Psalm, written according to tradition by King David. And I learned a long time ago when I was in rabbinical school, from one of my professors, that there was a special reason that King David wrote that psalm. And why do we use it at funerals? Because it says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death." And the professor said to me, he didn't write it just because of the valley of the shadow. What was important in that phrase is, yes, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. When we lose somebody, we're in a low place in life, and we have to walk through it and not get stuck in the middle of it. And I believe, personally, that that is the way we ought to function as human beings, to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Because that will get us whatever it means to get to that other side. We'll be able to keep our loved ones' memories alive. So again, I thank all of you for being here today, for your generous contributions to the hospice, and to committing yourselves to the tasks of grieving and making that grief appropriate. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sue Farnsworth. I'm the manager of the bereavement department at the Denver Hospice, and we want to make sure everybody knows that we are here for you as well during this time. I'd like to start by lighting this candle over here as a symbol of our eternal unity with our loved ones who have passed. All of us in this room are united as we stand together in our grief and in our memories. Just like the grove of aspens, many individual trees but one organism, sharing life, working together to survive, giving one tree a little more water when it needs it. We hope that you remember this when you look at the aspen leaves that you were given tonight. All of us are with you, standing together, giving each of you a little more support when you need it. The staff will be coming around to light your candles. When yours is lit, take a few moments to think about your loved one. Let the glow of the flame and the sound of the music fill the empty spaces of your heart with a gentle reminder of your loved one's presence and spirit. Located in your program, you'll find the reading that we call We Remember Them. I ask that you please turn to this page and join with me and one another as we read this together in response. At the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we crave joy and crave to share, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. When we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Now please raise your candles and look around you. Should you ever feel alone, remember this evening and this moment. You are not alone. There are others who understand the pain that you are feeling, and they're all around you right now. As we repeat our words, please blow out your candles. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Before I introduce Christine, I just wanted to reiterate the fact that the bereavement department is here for all of you, and it doesn't even have to be a family member, a friend, anyone that was affected by the loss. There's also no date that we're looking to, so even if it's a few years down the line and someone says, gee, I should have taken advantage of talking to somebody about this, please give us a call. There's no charge for any of our Denver Hospice families, and we'd love to talk to you if that would be helpful. And now, I'd like to introduce Christine West, the social worker of our Southeast team.
It is my honor to read the names of your loved ones today. Thank you all for being here. Beverly Blaney, Lucy Ann Brown, Kay Lynn Christopher, Lori Danamiller, Leona Dignan, Helen Ember, Gail Cluck, Arlene Leader, Kathleen Lutenegger, Patrick Maley, Ritva Mancini, Clarabelle Parker, David Finch-Rich and Marjorie Lynn Rich, and Sander Slatkin. Thank you.
I want to thank you for letting us be a part of your loved one's end-of-life journey. Our care is always made possible through your generous donations, so we thank you very much for that. We also, tonight, I hope that you experienced some sense of peace honoring your loved one. I hope you have the opportunity to go and look at the wall, memorial wall. And in closing, I would like to share a poem that is called the Aspen Song. It was written by Bethany Lord Keeper Davis. Calm moving sounds of rustling leaves, aspen trees and spring strong winds, they call me. Call me, bring me peace. They only ask for me to sit for a bit, closed eyes and warm sun kiss, sitting quietly lost in thought. The aspen song, the only sound, a smile it plays across my lips. My soul at rest, my soul at peace. A sanctuary older than any church. A grove of power, a grove of love. Apart from all, I sit so still, but one with every leaf and twig. Forever lost, forever found. The aspens call, the aspens song. Thank you again for being here this evening. What an honor to add your loved one to our wall. And I hope that you feel through this holiday season some peace. Please reflect on your loved ones as we all experience the love that we share, the relationships that we have. And thank you very much for being here tonight.